Today, we're putting two completely different raised beds to the test. On one side, a free raised bed made from nothing more than a plastic storage container. And on the other side, a fully loaded metal raised bed with a cover, irrigation, the works. One costs basically nothing, the other $600. So the question is, does an expensive raised bed really make that much of a difference, or can something simple work just as well? By the end of this video, we will see harvests from both and find out which one is actually the better choice. And to be honest, one of these raised beds really surprised me. Let's start with assembly. First up is the free raised bed. This one is about as simple as it gets. All I'm using is a recycled storage tote. One thing to note is make sure your tote is safe to grow in. Mine has a number 5 stamp on the bottom of it, which means it's safe for food contact. If you find a used tote, this raised bed will be basically free. The only real tool we need is a drill or something sharp to make drainage holes. I drilled 6 holes in the bottom of my tote with a 1/2-inch drill bit. These holes are important because if the water can't drain out, the soil will stay too wet and your plants won't grow well. And that's it. The raised bed is finished. The entire setup takes just a couple minutes. This is one of the biggest advantages to growing in the tote bed. It's incredibly accessible. You don't need special tools, you don't need building skills, and you don't need to spend hundreds of dollars just to get a garden started. Now, let's put together the $600 fully loaded raised bed system. This will be a 32-inch tall metal raised bed, and it costs $290 for the bed. The panels connect using screws, and there are definitely a lot of screws. This design allows you to build different orientations depending on how you want your garden laid out. Even though this bed looks big and heavy, the pieces are actually fairly lightweight. And once everything's assembled, the structure becomes sturdy and you can move it right to your garden area. One of the biggest advantages here is durability. The plastic bed will become brittle after a few years and crack, but a metal bed like this will last for many, many years. Compared to the tote bed, the assembly definitely takes longer. So right away we can see the first trade-off. The tote bed wins on speed and simplicity. The metal bed wins on strength and longevity. Now that both beds are assembled, it's time to fill them. The tote bed has a big advantage here. Because it's small, it doesn't take much soil. A couple bags of soil and the bed will be ready to plant, but I used my homemade soil to make sure we're using the same soil for both beds. Only having to add a few buckets of soil makes this setup super beginner friendly. Soil can be one of the most expensive parts of getting raised beds going, so the smaller container, the easier it is to get started. The big raised bed is a different story. Because the bed is deep, it would take a huge amount of soil to fill it completely. So instead of filling the entire thing with soil, we're using a trick that saves us some money. First, I'm adding logs to the bottom of the bed to fill space, and then some sticks and some composted garden material. This helps fill space, and over time, the materials will slowly break down. Then we add in some old composted soil, and to finish off, for the top 14 inches or so, we put in our own homemade soil. This approach uses way less soil and still creates a great growing environment. Plus, it will be the same depth of quality soil as our bed in the tote, but even with this method, the large bed still requires significantly more setup. So the tote wins again when it comes to low cost and quick setup. But the large bed will clearly have far more growing space. Now, both beds are filled with the same soil, so the comparison stays fair. Planting in the tote bed is simple. You can actually fit a good amount of plants in a container like this. I planted cabbage, I put in some cauliflower, one lettuce in the corner here, and another one up here. I even put a chamomile in the center, then added some Swiss chard and tucked it in. And I figured, why not direct sow some radishes in here as well? Then I watered the whole thing in, and here's the tote bed all planted out and looking great. An advantage to the tote bed is its small footprint, so it fits almost anywhere. Also, before it's filled, it's super light, so you could move it around and even put it up on a table like this or a raised surface, so when you want to work on it, it's at a nice height. 10 days later, the garden in a tote was looking really good. The plants were cruising along, and I went out and thinned my radishes after they sprouted. Planting in the metal raised bed is a bit different. Because it's so much bigger, we can grow a lot more plants and give them more space so they can grow larger. 12 days after transplanting, the crops in the metal bed were also doing well and were showing nice growth. At this point, I honestly thought that the cheap tote might be the better option compared to the expensive setup. After all, they were growing in the same soil and getting the same amount of light. But what happened next in the growing stage actually changed the comparison in a way I did not expect. As the plants continued to grow, I was able to see how the two systems behaved over time. 22 days after transplanting, the tote bed was looking beautiful. I was shocked with how well everything was growing, but I noticed some bug bites on my cabbage in the top left of the bed. Here is where the metal raised bed shined because I had a cover system for it. After a month of growth, the plants were perfect and had no bug bites. The cover kept the cabbage worms out and the plants excelled. A cover for a bed like this costs $150. This is me adding one to the raised bed. They're easy to assemble, but a bit tedious. Overall though, it's something almost anyone can do. That puts us at $440 for the metal raised bed setup and $0 for the tote raised bed. For the tote bed, I used BT to kill off the cabbage worms. It costs a few dollars, but it's organic and it lasts a long time. A week after spraying, the tote bed looked great. The Swiss chard was healthy and the new cabbage leaves were bug-free. A little over a month after planting, the tote bed looked fantastic and some stuff was even ready to harvest. I grabbed a really nice head of lettuce, picture perfect, and another beautiful head of lettuce from the other side. I even harvested a few radishes that looked pretty good, especially for how little space they had. And Tuck snacked on a couple, so I knew they were super high quality. Then I replaced what I harvested with some more plants like lettuce to keep the tote bed growing. One thing I noticed is the tote bed can dry out faster on hot days, especially when you have a lot of plants in it, so you need to stay on top of watering. A week later, the plants in the large raised bed were growing incredible, and some stuff was ready to harvest, like the radishes. I pulled some perfect radishes that were big, juicy, they looked great, and tasted delicious. Tuck really enjoyed snacking on them because they were full of water. I replaced some of the spots I harvested with more plants to keep the bed full and to get some more food from it. The large bed dried out slower because it had more soil and more space for the plant's roots. But to really put things on easy mode and upgrade the bed to the max, I added the irrigation system. This will make it so all I have to do is turn a switch to water the whole bed, or I can set it up to kick on automatically with a timer. This will make maintenance so much easier. The irrigation kit costs $100 for the bed, and if you want to add the timer, that's another $60. So that puts us at $600 for the fully loaded metal raised bed and $0 for the tote raised bed. As the season went on, both beds did really well. The metal bed looked perfect in early summer. I decided to remove the cover for now because the plants got so large. Check out how perfect this purple cabbage is. Dense and ready to harvest. And look at the color and size of this cauliflower here. On the other side of the bed, another perfect cabbage ready to harvest. Because the first tote bed did so well, I decided to plant out another tote with all summer crops. I was just so impressed with the first one that I had to add another. After watching these beds grow side by side, a few things become clear. First, the tote bed absolutely works. Plants like growing in it, and it's one of the easiest ways and cheapest ways to get a garden going. You can do it for basically no money, especially if you're thrifty. The larger raised bed setup clearly makes gardening easier. The cover system protects plants from pests and weather and acts like harvest insurance. You can use an insect netting to protect plants from the bugs, a shade cloth to protect them from the hot, scorching sun, and a row cover to protect them from the frost. You could also create your own cover system for your tote bed, but for this video, I just wanted to keep it to the basic raised bed in a tote. The irrigation system for the metal bed definitely reduces the amount of daily work required and is a good option for people who want to grow food through the hot summer, but they can't get out there all the time to water. But like most things, the convenience definitely comes at a cost, a big monetary cost. So which one is better? The answer really depends on your situation. If you're just starting out and you want to get a garden going quick and for a low cost, you can't beat the tote because it clearly grows some amazing food. If you're someone who doesn't have the time but still want to be able to grab your own homegrown organic food right from your own garden and the cost doesn't matter to you, then the fully maxed out raised bed will be a good option. When it comes to getting your money back on investment, for the tote bed, your first harvest, you'll have all your money back on investment because you're basically spending no money. For the maxed out, fully loaded raised bed, that's gonna take much longer to get your value back on investment if you only look at it from a monetary standpoint, because we didn't even factor in the cost of the soil. When it comes down to it, for most people, the best option will probably be somewhere in the middle, like a wooden raised bed that you build yourself if you have the skills, or maybe just a metal raised bed without all the add-ons, or a metal raised bed that's cheaper and a bit smaller, or even just a 5-gallon bucket. They were great to grow food in as well. This was a lot of fun to compare the two extremes, a basically free garden versus a maxed out raised bed garden. And whether you go with a recycled tote container or even a fully loaded $600 raised bed, what really matters is simply that you get started. Because once you grab some harvests from your own backyard, your own garden, fresh straight from it, you'll realize there's nothing better than growing some of your own food. It's so rewarding in so many different ways. That's today's video, growers. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. I want to mention that we're having a giveaway on the shop. We're giving away a raised bed. So if you want to check it out, kind of like a spring celebration, go over to teamgrow.us. I also wanted to mention a thank you to one of our new channel members, Yolanda Romero. Thanks for being a part of Team Grow. Thanks for having your hand in everything we're doing out here. As the final verdict for the video started to come out, the sun finally poked its head out. So I think it was just letting us know spring's on the way. Just look forward to it. We're almost there. Today it's cold out, that's why I got my hat on. We don't have many things growing yet because it's still so early, but I can see spring on the horizon as the sun starts to rise and the skies clear up. So I cannot wait to get things in the ground. We'll catch you guys on another one real soon. We